Hello chess lovers, today on November 30, Magnus Carlsen is celebrating his 27th birthday. Happy birthday Magnus. And I decided to analyze a game played by him when he was still 14 years old. His opponent is Predrag Nikolic, who was rated much higher. Carlsen's rating was 2553 and Nikolic's rating was 2676. The game was played in 2005. Carlsen started with e4 and e6 by Nikolic, French defense, d4, d5, knight d2, Carlsen goes for Tarrasch variation, c5, black is choosing the open system, e takes d5, e takes d5, knight f3, c4 and b3, trying to get rid of this pawn which is demoralizing White's army. C takes b3, a takes b3, bishop b4, knight e5, knight e7 and bishop d3. At that time this bishop d3 was a novelty. Another possible line is c3. If bishop takes c3 then queen f3, both threatening checkmate in one and also attacking the bishop. If bishop takes d2 check then bishop takes d2, black can castle bishop d3, though white is a pawn down, but of course white is better developed and white has a compensation. Let's go back. After knight e7 we see bishop d3, knight c6 and a strong response by Carlsen, castling kingside, allowing black to capture on d4. But black didn't capture on d4 straight away and first played bishop c3. By the way, if a move like knight takes d4, then white can play bishop b2, bringing the bishop to this long diagonal. Now if knight c6, then knight takes c6 followed by bishop takes g7, or if a move like knight f5, then bishop b5 check and black is forced to move his king. That's why, after castling kingside, Nikolic first played bishop c3, rook a4, and only now Nikolic is capturing on d4. But now comes knight takes c6, knight takes c6, and bishop a3, controlling this a3 f8 diagonal and not allowing black to castle. Bishop e6, knight f3, and overlooking Carlsen's next threat, Nikolic played bishop b6. A better move was playing bishop f6, keeping the bishop on this diagonal. But this bishop b6 move allows Carlsen to play queen a1, putting pressure on g7. Nikolic played queen c7, and now comes an interesting response by Carlsen, b4, planning to play b5 and kick away this knight. Well, queen takes g7 looks not a good idea because black can castle queenside and later black can use this g file to attack white king. After queen c7 we see b4, f6, which is weakening the king side. Well, if a move like castling king side, then white can play b5. If knight e7, then rook e1, the threat is knight g5. If rook e8, then bishop b2, putting pressure on g7. If knight f5, then g4. Again, this is going to be very unpleasant for black. Or, instead of playing f6, if castling queenside, then again b5. If knight a5, then bishop b2 with the idea of placing the bishop on d4 and targeting black's queenside. Let's go back. After b4 we see f6. Now comes rook e1, pinning the bishop. King f7, b5, knight a5, and now comes a powerful move by Carlsen. This queen has already done its job on a1 h8 diagonal, and the queen retreats back to d1 square. Carlsen needs this queen on d1 h5 diagonal. Black played rook e8, and now comes a strong move by Carlsen. Can you find his next move? Actually, this is the logical continuation of queen d1. Here comes knight g5 check, sacrificing the knight. F takes g5, queen f3 check, king g8, and now comes the final blow. Rook takes e6 and black resigned. Well, you can't recapture because of this queen f8 checkmate, or if queen f7, then white has several options to win the game. Either to play bishop f5 with the idea of capturing on e8, then on d5 and bishop e6, Or rook takes e8 also possible. If queen takes e8, then rook takes a5 is winning. If bishop takes a5, then queen takes d5 check. If queen f7, then bishop c4. That's why it was important to capture on a5, getting rid of the knight, which was controlling the c4 square. And if queen takes d5, here comes this beautiful bishop takes d5 checkmate. A very impressive game, I think, played by 14 years old Magnus Carlsen. Your comments and questions, please, and thanks for watching. Good luck.